Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Propagandacast here with Unity of Command Black Turn. We're going to be having a bit of a double mission here today, since the one you're looking at, as you might be noticing, is rather not very big. So we'll be having here Estonia and afterwards Luga to Leningrad. And Estonia, as you can see, is not really that big, nor is the fun here going to be very big either. In fact, the amount of forces I have initially is rather limited. I've got the 61st Infantry Division, 254th Infantry Division, although with some reconnaissance in the form of schwere Panzerspeerwagens, and the 217th. And I have this Jägers, but apparently the other Forest Brothers. And for those that don't know what the Forest Brothers are, they were a set of partisans, resistance fighters, sort of that kind of thing, that fought in Estonia and all the other sort of nations there in the Baltics against the Soviets, and later joined up with the Germans. Afterwards, as the Germans were pulled back, the Forest Brothers would then sort of form into those sort of minor units here. Some of them actually joined up with more regular German divisions and forces as things progressed. Interesting though, the developer seemed to just release them as regular Jäger, but I suppose that fitted the best. And I suppose couldn't really make sense to just make one particular division icon otherwise. So, but still, little fun fact there for those that didn't know. Overall, surge resistance is also a bit limited, though even here that's going to be a bit of a problem for my Forest Brothers, since those gentlemen are still dug in, and they are dug in by forests, which means it's going to be really difficult to get them out. I will be receiving some reinforcements here. 2 divisions as things progress, and some extra German infantry, but overall not a lot. Also, those questioning, can one increase the difficulty? No, you can. This is as difficult as it gets overall. So, no dice, I'm afraid. No dice. And no real progress along here. I think we'll send them up here to sort of help speed things up on the right hand side. And again, I'm not really going to be engaging here. I'm sort of hoping perhaps I can force them out of their position, in which case my Jaeger unit here might have a slight chance. But you know, otherwise this is not going to be working out so well. I'll just be sort of popping up and saying rude things to them. So its size is of course not that much great either. A lot of them are a bit depleted. One of them, though, got the NKVD unit attached. That's definitely going to make them a bit more of a problem than the rest. But that's about it. There's also a bunch of this attached, available, though that's not really going to do much, since I'm not really dealing with any armor. So let's see how these Bolsheviks respond. There we go, cutting off the Jaegers, the bastards. At the same time, that should allow me to eliminate, and there we go, the Russians sort of breaking up. Again, I still have to conduct a pursuit across all of this, which is a bit of a slight bother. There we go. Not really going to do that because, again, forests, meaning that will not necessarily be very fun to waltz in. And there we go, Infantry Division. Quick force march up there to help things along. Isn't it lovely? Russians now falling back towards Tallinn and Narva as swiftly as they can. Well, of course, I'm as swiftly as possible trying to keep up with them, which of course I'm having trouble with at the moment. There we go, cutting off the Jaeger again. Perhaps I was a bit too aggressive. On the other hand, that rather allows me to deal with them a bit more at my own leisure, which should not be ignored either. So there we go. Division slightly thrown off the track here. I'm going to keep them there so I can actually get them supplied. Otherwise very much risk, but at the same time I just cut off several of the divisions, which would certainly make movement towards Tallinn and Narva considerably easier. So that is certainly something as well. Hoorah. Something. So, on to the next turn again. Not a lot of action really here. This is more about maneuver, less about fighting. Apparently that's ice. But somehow he's standing out in the middle of the bloody lake. Yuri, isn't this a bit wet? Yet, comrades. It never gets too wet for socialists. There we go. Destroyed for their aquatic tendencies. NKVD gentlemen digging in. That's definitely going to be a pain in the ass to dig out because, well, they're dug in a forest. Though I do have my Pioneer, which should allow me to deal with that once that arrives. There we go. Now he actually tries to outflank me all of a sudden. Curious as to what compelled the AI to do that. That should help a bit as well. Well, that did not work out quite as intended. That, on the other hand, did work out better. I shall be reinforcing you gentlemen with the one bit they have been given. And that worked out surprisingly well. That, on the other hand, took a bit of a toll on my men. But there we go. Tallinn should soon fall to Deutschland. So, ending the turn once more, the Soviet defense is looking not very good at the moment. The tendency for sticking to the rivers has betrayed them, or some such. And my Jaeger keeps suffering losses. I'll be using them to drag up the supply lines, since they likely won't have much luck dragging out the rifle division ensconced within Tallinn. At least not that I know of. Next turn. Ah, the marshes now, is it? There we go, they are breached, which definitely makes this a bit easier, though it's still going to be a grueling fight getting them out of there. My Jaeger division did not have very much fun with that. Tragically so. I suppose I could reinforce them, but I could also not. And we move on to the next turn. Tallinn should theoretically fall. Well, that's likely not going to happen. And certainly Narva won't either right away. That is still taking a good deal of time. Might as well reorganize them, which basically means I turn them into a reserve. And again, not really much they can do there except try and reinforce. Likely from some quick navy vessel popping in going, hello there. You look to be short on men. Also, note here, apparently this division has actually now become veteran, which basically means it's got a better advantage of actually clearing out the bastards here. Which is good. In fact, it's very good. See, I'm going to be a bit delayed here, but overall I think I should still be able to pull off a decisive victory for Germany. Come on. Don't make me look silly here. And there we go. Decisive Axis victory. Quick fight here again. Partly maneuver, partly about getting lucky when the opponent tries to sort of outflank you and you actually catch them between your pincers of infantry. So a bit of fun there. Hope you enjoyed this, and of course hope you stick around for Luga to Leningrad. The epic fight of 1944. Not really, but sounds a bit cooler than just, you know, Luga to Leningrad. So, hang on. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Luga to Leningrad, the other mission here for today. As you might be noticing, there's already a lot more units than there were in Estonia. I've even got some motorized, some panzer divisions of varying quality. I've got some SS infantry, the Polizei division with pioneers attached. I've got the elite Totenkopf, and I've got a bunch of infantry divisions heavily equipped with pioneers and what not. My Russian opponents have been equipped with Soviet motorized a few tank divisions, including one with a KV-1, otherwise some fortified regions. Fortified regions being a more specific Soviet defensive formation, heavily equipped with machine guns and anti-tank guns, usually, in fact, fighting throughout the war, usually placed in the spot where they expect the Germans to hit and sort of bogging them down. And we've got some Leningrad garrisons here, and the Krasnoyarsk Disk FR, which I'm not sure what means. Sort of would be nice occasionally if the developer sort of had a little explanation of it for what sort of historical context there were for the unit, because sometimes they're a bit odd. Sometimes. And even I don't know them. So a bit that. I won't be launching any assaults against that, because that's probably not going to be the most efficient use of my tanks, you know, attacking cross water against a unit with KV-1s. Instead I will be working towards here, breaching the devils. Opting up here for units to sort of breach their way instead, and thus opening up for the tanks moving across here, which I'm sure you'll find is a slightly better use of my tanks. At least I would like to think it is. But of course I might be proven to be wrong. Got a single rifle division there held up. Shifting in there. Initial assault though beyond, well, the initial, not really making much progress, sadly. But shifting things over there to continue. He'll likely sort of try and bog down the assault as it goes over there. Not unusual that. Not really needed this city, by the way, though of course I'm going to push through here. That's going to be nice, and certainly I'd like to keep those gentlemen there tied down a bit. Might try and call in some air support and see if that does something. There we go. Close. And there we go. Progress made through here as well. Wunderbar. That should have opened up a few penetrating guns in the northern line. And of course I've also got a bit of action down here. I think I'll make a blow towards here, because then I can follow up with one infantry division to sort of quickly destroy it. I'll keep them here, because otherwise I risk these units being cut off, which they might not quite be able to fight themselves out of in time. Got to cross the river here. Going after where I'll be likely able to do the most damage, and there we go. There we go. Going after there. Slight losses to the 219th Infantry Division. Once more keeping the flak unit here to cover the flank. So initially, alright. Going to pump some resources into this. Not really much reason to build any bridges right now. So let's end the turn and see what sort of mistakes I committed. We're seeing them pulling back there, plopping in the tanks right in front of my own tanks. At the same time though, while that is a bit of a problem, at the same time they're no longer entrenched, which is definitely to my advantage. There we go. My successful initial assault has forced the Soviets to sort of basically pull back the entire front line, which is definitely giving me an opportunity to sort of push ahead. We're seeing them crossing the southern rivers. Ooh, comrades! So far, so mildly good. Calling in some air support to try and make things a lot easier, and by Jove, they were made slightly easier. Go, destroyed. Though perhaps not having as much luck as I would like in breaking through things at the moment. There we go. Some progress. things over there. Ah, damn it! I'm supposed to go there. Oh well. Bit of damage there. Making slow progress towards Demyansk, again slightly in risk of getting cut off. Less comfortable about that. Might be necessary to deploy something additional down there somehow. I'm not entirely sure what yet. But making slow and steady progress towards Leningrad and the bits around that. So let us end the turn once more and see what actually happens. There we go, cutting off the one infantry division there, just like what I was worried about. At the same time, I'd risk them being cut off from down there as well if I didn't do anything about it there either. So definitely things are getting a bit trickier now. I'm progressing further into the German heartland. Oh, the Soviet heartlands. God damn it! Looks like I am being offered some reserve units here, if I wish to spend the prestige on it. Which I might, if it keeps up like this. Calling in some air support to break through that. Just help with it. Another unit gloriously destroyed without mercy. Destroying a few units left and right. I should also soon have an opportunity to easily clear out the NKVD defenders right here at Novgorod, as they're beginning to run out of supplies, most desperately. We're making good progress here. I might be tempted to call in something to help down there, but let's see how this actually goes. There we go, they were cornered. So there's a problem there for me. Also looks like they pulled back there, so I might shift some more units over there, help with that. Decent progress towards Demyansk now. Huzzah! So I'm rather still worried about the things down there. If it actually goes any south, I'll be calling in a motorized division. I believe to try and deal with that, a panzer division might be a bit expensive and overkill. Also, one thing to remember, as units guard a supply, we're seeing here they're already up 2 turns, so they begin to suffer supply problems. Once they really guard a supply, they even lose their entrenched effect. So essentially, again, if I keep waiting long enough, I can just mop them up with no problems without really suffering a lot. And that's rather the plan, since that's a lot more efficient in manpower, to be honest. So far, good progress made. Now the Krasnogvardsk defenders will likely be the major problem, though a charge with the SS Polizei Division might help that a bit. Though I'm still going to be facing NKVD, which means they are going to be a pain in the ass. Thankfully, they're not dug in urban territory or with anything else. Otherwise, it would be a lot more painful. Again, trying to cut off the fiends, and there we go. Note, oh, still entrenched, really? I thought might have changed that somehow. I thought so. Silly me then, silly me. There we go. They're trying to get out of there. Flee, comrades! And there we go. Utterly destroyed. Go. Soon I'll be able to take that area as well. Lovely. And that turned out to be really, really well, actually. Surprisingly well, actually. Did you bribe the defenders or something? 9. But there we go. All of a sudden, I've made great progress. The veteran division, which I thought would be a problem, apparently turned out to be not one. Certainly makes it easier. Once more, I have to deal with the lovely gentleman up there. Motorized division there being forced away ever so gloriously. I think I even took Krasnogvardeysk before I was supposed to. That's lovely. Some progress tying down units there as well, and basically they're just having a bit of a standoff here. Neither one really interested in going head to head with the other. So there we go. Might want to make a slight step towards that. Just maybe a bit. So you can actually take it sooner or later. Preferably sooner rather than later. So let us end the turn now. Let us see the Soviet response to this, my brilliant maneuvers. And they're definitely pulling back towards the region there. The fortified region, in fact, also pulling back. The ones that are still there. Looks like even these gentlemen pull back. And there we go, once more the turns. Yeah, I'm not really been good at being poetic there. My apologies. Might want to do something about that. They're starting to become a bit worn out. But making slight progress down there. Going to Collins Mayor support there in the hopes that does something, but no. On the other hand, I do succeed in breaching. Not going to have much luck there, sadly. Pull up behind here. The fortified region, by the way, is out in the open. That generally works a bit in my favour. Just checking out which points I actually need to secure. Otherwise, I might as well ignore a large part of the Leningrad garrison, since they essentially don't really need it as such. I need something to take over for the motorized division now, until then I might risk they basically just go, "Hoorah! Take that, fascists!" Which would leave me a bit sad. I don't like them being rude. But there we go. Getting closer to that point. I could be even closer, but again, that would risk some problems. Then again, maybe not. I'll pull back the Panzer Division there. There we go. Right as something. And overall, making good progress. Worries are slowly dissipating. I might even spot a brilliant victory on the horizon. One which shall be talked about for a few seconds before forgotten. Amazingly so. Ah, come on. There we go. Don't you try to deny me my glorious victory. Aha! I even got that before time. Now there's just Demyansk left. Which could prove to be the headache. At least if I want it on time. Come on, yes! Yes! Ow. No. Maybe. Yes. No. God damn it, I was so close. So close to pulling off a brilliant victory. Ah, well. Curse you communists for spoiling my great plan. How dare you vigorously defend your motherland? How dare you? The utter temerity and audacity is infuriating. Now you just ruined my day. I mean, really. Oh well. I'll still get a decisive victory, which I actually need to be able to progress to the next mission. Sometimes you do occasionally need something a bit bigger, and there we go. The decisive but not quite brilliant victory because someone couldn't get their feet moving fast enough. I'm looking at you, Heinz. But there we go. A bit of a bigger fight there again. We had some slightly more challenges, and again these missions will continue to become more challenging, more issues thrown into it, in particular with logistics and terrain. Also, a little fun fact about the territory around Demyansk and such, very wooded, very marshy territory. The Germans really didn't actually have any plans for it. They sort of figured, we'll just walk through it, tiptoe through the tulips, and apparently hadn't figured the Russians might put up a vigorous defense there. Fun fact. But there you go, another decisive Axis victory. I hope you've enjoyed these again, Estonia and Luga to Leningrad. I hope you were enlightened a bit, and a bit tempted to perhaps get these games, which you can get on Steam or at the developer site at unityofcommand.net. Remember to get Unity of Command and then the Blackturn DLC if you want that, or if you're more fancying towards the Russian side of things, with, well, from Stalingrad to Berlin, you can get Red Turn as well. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.